Hidden deep within the files of a high-level U.S. political investigation, images have just emerged that shatter the illusion of royal distance. These are the never-before-seen photographs of a place once known as a tropical paradise. Jeffrey Epstein's notorious private island, Little St. James, and they hold the key to Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's perpetual nightmare. Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel. If you find yourself concerned about the stability of the monarchy and the ever-darkening shadow cast by royal associations, please take a moment to subscribe and enable notifications. Today, we are facing a stark reality. Despite the palace's best efforts to bury the past, the Duke of York is being dragged into deeper trouble. The legal and political storm that has encircled the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein refuses to abate, and every time a new piece of evidence surfaces, it tightens the grip around the former Prince of Britain. For years, the royal firm has attempted to project an image of finality and distance, insisting that Andrew's removal from royal duties, his forced stepping back from the public stage, drew a definitive line under this entire catastrophic fiasco. But, as we often discover with matters concerning power, wealth, and profound secrecy, the line is constantly being erased by the emergence of new, undeniable facts. The latest blow to the Duke's already ruined reputation comes not from a tabloid exposé, but from the highly formal and politically charged halls of Washington, D.C. These new materials, which are now causing ripples across the Atlantic, were pulled directly from the files of the U.S. Virgin Islands authorities and subsequently published by the influential U.S. House Oversight Committee. This is not mere speculation. This is evidence released as part of an active governmental push for complete transparency surrounding Epstein's vast, destructive network. Royal expert Christopher Buckton, writing for The Mirror, observed this escalating crisis with chilling precision. He noted that the scandal continues to circle Andrew like a predator, constantly tightening its grip every time new material is exposed. And he believes, unequivocally, that the newly released photographs of Little St. James are among the most damaging revelations yet. The unsettling interior of Little St. James. Imagine a place known globally for its breathtaking Caribbean beauty, a private retreat, a haven of sun and azure waters. Now imagine that veneer being peeled back to expose an unsettling interior, a location long linked not to relaxation, but to exploitation, power dynamics, and profound secrecy. That is precisely what these photographs achieve. Little St. James, often grimly nicknamed Pedophile Island in the press, has always been central to the narrative of Epstein's illicit activities. But until now, the public understanding of the island was largely based on aerial views and whispered rumors. These new images provide a disturbing, ground-level look at the specific facilities Epstein constructed. Facilities that suggest a chilling infrastructure designed not for hospitality but for control and manipulation. The specific details cataloged in these released photographs are profoundly unsettling, transforming an abstract concept of a secretive island into a tangible, horrifying reality. We see, for instance, a shuttered dental office. Why would a private residence, even one belonging to a billionaire, require a dedicated professional-grade dental facility? This detail immediately raises uncomfortable questions about security, privacy, and perhaps the necessity of forced procedures far removed from public accountability. Even more bizarre are the mask-lined walls depicted in some of the interior shots. Masks, in any context, suggest a desire for anonymity, for hiding identities, or perhaps a compliance mechanism within the strange, dark theater Epstein orchestrated. It speaks to a level of calculated psychological control that is deeply disturbing. Then there is the image of the dried-out steam room, which instead of offering relaxation is now stacked high with linens, abandoned and unused, a silent witness to whatever took place within those humid walls. The sheer banality of these items, linens, steam room, dental chair, juxtaposed with the island's notorious reputation, creates a sense of profound psychological horror. But perhaps the strangest detail is the photograph of a chalk-scribbled study. This image suggests a disorganized, perhaps obsessive or frantic environment, far removed from the pristine, manicured image the public often associates with extreme wealth. These scribbles hint at the troubled and secretive mind of the man who owned the island. The context that changes everything. While the content of these photos, the dental office, the masks, the chalk, is unsettling enough on its own, their true devastating impact on Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor lies entirely in their context. As the expert analysis states, this material is not just a leak, it forms part of an active, ongoing political investigation in Washington. This is the crucial difference. When a scandal involves official governmental bodies in the United States, especially those demanding full transparency regarding a figure like Epstein and his powerful associates, the story ceases to be a mere celebrity gossip column item or a private royal matter. It becomes a geopolitical issue, a matter of public record and accountability that transcends national borders and royal protocols. For the Duke of York, this context means one inescapable truth. The story is not going away. Not next month, not next year, not ever. The palace's strategy has always been one of containment and isolation. By stripping Andrew of his military titles and royal patronages back in early 2022, and by ensuring his public silence, the monarchy hoped to create a firewall, protecting the institution from the toxic fallout of his association with Epstein. They believed that by removing him from the official narrative, they could draw a definitive, thick black line under the entire sorry episode. However, the actions being taken in Washington completely undermine this strategy. The U.S. House Oversight Committee is not concerned with the internal PR management of the British monarchy. Their mandate is to demand complete transparency around the entire network. The powerful individuals who visited Epstein's private domains, the extent of his influence, and the complicity of those around him. Andrew's visits to Epstein's properties, his well-documented friendship with the financier, and his presence within that inner circle means that every new document released, every new photograph published, and every new name uncovered reinforces his inextricable link to the heart of the crisis. He remains the most prominent royal figure entangled in this geopolitical storm of accountability. The cost to the crown and the name. The continuous emergence of material ensures that the Mountbatten-Windsor name will be perpetually linked to the darkest corners of this international tragedy. The cost to the crown, particularly during a period of transition under King Charles III, is immense and immeasurable. When the palace took the drastic step of removing Andrew from public life, they understood the seriousness of the allegations and the damage to public trust. This was a move designed to protect the future of the institution. But the relentless nature of the American investigation ensures that the wound never truly heals. Every few months, the scab is ripped off and the public is forced to relive the details of the scandal, always with the name of Prince Andrew prominently featured in the headlines. The implications are not merely personal for the Duke, they are institutional. The lingering cloud of the Epstein affair fundamentally challenges the public's perception of royal judgment, discretion, and moral authority. For an audience aged 55 and over, many of whom hold traditional views on the sanctity and reputation of the monarchy, this continuous association is devastating. It erodes the quiet, unspoken trust that underpins the constitutional role of the royal family. Furthermore, the public is left to wonder about the extent of the cover-up, or at least the extent of the knowledge held by those in the highest echelons of the palace. Did they truly understand the depth of the depravity surrounding Epstein when they allowed Andrew to remain associated with him for so long? The political pressure from Washington is particularly problematic because it ensures that the media coverage remains globally focused and serious. When a congressional committee releases materials, it elevates the story from mere gossip to a matter of international political significance. The narrative shifts from "Did Andrew make a mistake?" to "What did the powerful people around Epstein know, and when did they know it?" And because Andrew was one of those powerful people, his name remains tethered to the proceedings. Living in the shadow of the unending investigation. The analysis provided by experts like Christopher Buckton confirms the gravity of Andrew's situation. He is living under the shadow of an unending investigation. The demand for transparency in Washington is relentless, fueled by public outrage and political necessity. This means that Prince Andrew cannot simply retreat into private life and wait for the storm to pass. The storm itself is now a permanent fixture. Any attempt by the palace to reintegrate him, even in the smallest of ways, would be met with immediate and explosive condemnation, backed by the very real threat of further material emerging from U.S. files. The photographs of Little St. James are not just disturbing artifacts, they are symbols of the toxic environment Andrew willingly entered. The details, the medical facilities, the strange scribbles, the masks, all paint a picture of an operation designed for exploitation, and the fact that these images are now public record, scrutinized by high-level investigators, guarantees Andrew's continued scrutiny. Ultimately, the Duke of York, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, has been effectively neutralized as a working member of the royal family, but he has not been neutralized as a continuous political liability. The U.S. investigation ensures that the truth about Epstein's network continues to trickle out, slowly, surely, and devastatingly. The palace may have removed the uniform and the titles, but they cannot remove the history. They cannot erase the flight logs, the photographs, or the connections to Little St. James. And as long as Washington continues to demand transparency, the scandal will remain alive, a constant, crippling reminder of the consequences of poor judgment at the highest levels of the British monarchy. What are your thoughts on this latest development? Do you believe the palace can ever truly put a definitive end to the Prince Andrew crisis? Or is his association with the Epstein network a permanent scar on the crown? Share your opinions in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we will continue to monitor this critical situation as new information emerges from the U.S. investigation. Take care, and we will see you in the next video.